Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It'll show just the essentials so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. I won't talk about fighting specific enemies unless they're very difficult, but I will show you where to go and what to do. Today we're playing Sonic Advance, released for the Game Boy Advance, and I'll be showing you how to get the best ending and 100% the game, which basically comes down to collecting all the emeralds and then beating the game with all the characters. So pretty much I'll just be showing you where all the emeralds are and what the final extra zone looks like in this video. If you end up finding this video useful, then a subscription to the channel would always be appreciated. It helps out the channel a lot, and I'm hoping to have more videos like this coming out soon. Alright, so let's get stuck into the walkthrough. You can pick pretty much any character you want, but you're going to have to beat the game as all 4 characters if you want to get the best ending. I'm going to choose Tails here, just because Tails makes it a little bit easier to actually find the emeralds. To find the emeralds you need to find these big red springs, and they could be hidden all over the level. Tails' flying ability really helps out here. So in terms of the controls, you got your basics. It's like spin dashing by holding down and pressing the jump button over and over. Tails in this case can fly as well. If you're jumping in the air, you can press the jump button again to fly. And that's pretty much the controls. You can also have some fancy attacks on L and R, which sort of give you an air kick, but it's pretty standard Sonic stuff. Now the reason I'm showing this level is because this is where the first special stage is. If you can spin dash up there and jump on this platform, you'll see the spring kind of just sitting up here. So the special stages, you basically just have to go through and collect a bunch of rings, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So you'll have the A button, which sort of makes you go sideways and go faster, and you'll also have the B button, which makes you do a trick in the special stage. So that's something to keep an eye out for. You'll see that there are sometimes these like orange portal things, and when you go through them, you want to trick through them, and then you'll get some more rings. When I first played this game growing up, I didn't know that you could trick through those portals to get rings, and it was really difficult to get enough rings in the special stages. But anyway, I won't show the whole special stage, and we'll jump now to where the second spring is in the game. Now pretty soon you'll find yourself in Secret Base Zone. We're actually going to go through Act 1 completely normally, because it's not until Act 2 that we can actually find the special stage we're looking for. Alright, so you want to take pretty much the upper path here. And this is why Tails is so useful to find the special stages, because Tails has that flying ability. The other one that's pretty good at finding special stages is Knuckles, because he can climb on walls. You can get to all the special stages as Sonic, but it's pretty hard to do so. Alright, so again, still taking the upper path here. The spring will be coming up pretty shortly. And the spring's just up here. There we go. So once you get through this special stage, that'll be your second Chaos Emerald. The next Emerald is in Act 1 of the Casino stage. So again, you want to stay pretty high up, and if you can stay on this higher up path, you'll eventually come across the Emerald. Unfortunately, unlike other Sonic games, there isn't really a good pattern as to where you can find the emeralds, as in like which act of which zone. You just have to kind of follow along and look in every single level that you come across. Alright, so there's the spring just sitting there. It's pretty easy to go past since you're going so fast, but it's that, you can just remember it's that bit where you're going really fast. That's where the spring is. After you're done with the casino stage, you're going to come into this ice level, and that's where our next special stage will be. It will be in Act 1 of this level. So the spring's basically straight above us right now. You sort of have to get a bit of height before you turn around, because it's pretty difficult to just fly all the way up there. There we go, and there's the spring. So if we finish the stage, that should be our 4th emerald. Alrighty, so the ice stage actually has 2 emeralds in it, one in Act 1 and one in Act 2, so we're going to see the one in Act 2 here. So again, as with the trend, you're going to try and take the upper path to get close to the emerald. And there's the spring right there. If you want a reference point, you could try and remember where the green shield is, and then it's just shortly after that one. But this should be your 5th emerald once you've done this stage. Next emerald is in Angel Island Act 2. So that's what we're loading up here, the 2nd act. And I'll just show you how you can get to that emerald. So as you can see, we're pretty much playing the level normally for most of it, and the emerald is towards the end of that. So once you get to this bit, just make sure you're taking the upper path like I am here. And there's our spring. So it should be your 6th emerald once you've done this stage. Alright, now we'll go through how you can get to the last emerald. So you should have just gone through the egg rocket stage, which is a really cool staging concept, kind of annoying to play through. But you'll end up in here, which is Cosmic Angel Zone. And so we're just going to zoom off to the right here, and then we'll have an eye out for our emerald. Now if you get to that checkpoint, that means you need to go up and left. That's how you get to the spring. That's usually the reference that I use for it. And you can see why Tails is so useful for finding these springs now. So it's sort of just sitting up here. And this should be the last emerald. So you get to the end of the special stage and hopefully you've got at least 200 rings. Then you'll go through and you'll have all 7 Chaos Emeralds. So that's sort of one side of the coin of 100%ing this game. The other side is then beating the game with all the characters. So if you end up missing an emerald with Tails, I wouldn't worry too much. I'd still play through with all the other characters because you might come across that emerald with them anyway. Unfortunately, unlike in Sonic 2, you can't just turn into Super Sonic anytime now. Super Sonic is kind of reserved for that last stage. One thing I'll mention just while we're in this stage is this boss, you have to jump close to him to flip him upside down, so that's how you beat this one. So eventually you'll play through the rest of the game with all 4 characters, and you want to end your playthrough playing with Sonic. So if it doesn't work for whatever reason, just go back in with Sonic and beat the final boss as Sonic once again. And then instead of getting the fade out to the credits here, you're going to get a different cutscene where Sonic sort of runs to the right and looks off at the moon. So that's an implication that we're about to head to that final extra zone there, which is the moon zone. So then you get to finally turn into Super Sonic, and you get to make it across to that zone. So this zone's pretty cool because you play it as Super Sonic. Just be aware that the ring counter will count down on you if you do that. You basically just have to go and hit this dude on the head pretty much. But he's gonna block his head quite a bit. So you kind of get near the head and then you do the jump and dash attack towards that. And then eventually you'll beat the boss. Alright, so eventually you beat the boss and you get the good ending and cutscene and everything. And that's pretty much all there is to Sonic Advance. There's a few other fun things you can play within this game like Chao Garden, so have a look at that as well. That's going to be it for this walkthrough. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, then a subscription would very much be appreciated as it helps grow the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, then I should have more coming out like it soon. Thanks so much for watching.